Namo Buddhaya. We pay homage to the Blessed One, the Supremely Enlightened Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We pay homage to our teacher, Luke Swami Mahanse. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sambodhi. So remember, the Buddha asked the monks this question. If wanderers of other religions were to ask reverence, what is the vital condition for the development of the awakening factors? How would you answer them? Remember? So, like, what is the most important thing, like the supporting condition that would help you to develop the factors of enlightenment, attain enlightenment? The first one Buddha explained. This is how you should answer, saying if somebody has good friends, the the practitioner has good friends, companions, good companions and associates. Kalyana mitto hoti, kalyana sahayo, kalyana sampavanko. And we learned about these good friends, spiritual friends, friends in the Dhamma, their qualities in details, didn't we? Yes. Okay, today we are going to learn about the second one. Did you think about what we learned last time about friends, how to select a good friend, and how these friends are different from the friends in the worldly, in the ordinary world, the special qualities, and did you think about that? Okay, so then Buddha explains about the second one. Punacha parang auso bhikkhu silava hoti. Silava, second one. Okay, so let me write down here so it will be easy for you. Basically aids to enlightenment. These are the aids. So the first one is having friends in the Dhamma. Is that better? Yeah, whatever. Like the most important thing is the detailed meaning. Like when we say good friends, somebody would say somebody is good because when I was poor, he gave me money. But then the next time when you want to do something evil, he's the same person who supports you. You cannot say good friend. Virtuous, grateful, right? Friends in the Dhamma. So friends in the Dhamma. We learned many qualities of friends in the Dhamma, right? Remember, they only help you to do good things, right? They help you to avoid evil. So like that we learned, and they guard you, right? Remember, friends in the Dhamma. Or if you are familiar with the word Kalyana Mitra, you can use that. That is the perfect definition for that. So the second one we learned today. Okay, so let's learn about something Pali as well. So here, what is the Pali word for this? Kalyana Mitto Hoti. Kalyana Mitto Hoti. Having friends in the Dhamma. Okay, second one. Second one, virtue or precepts. Precepts. Okay, today we are going to learn about that. In Pali, Sīlava hoti. We should add here, keeping precepts. Sīlava hoti. Where is that hand? The long hand? No? What is that? Lucy, no, you have it? He is the best. No? Next time. One by one. But this time better, right? You put this. Okay, can everybody please read? Yeah. Keeping virtue precepts. Okay. So here Buddha teaches Sīlava hoti Pātimokka Sangvara Sangvuto Viharati. Practitioner is virtuous and restrained in the monastic code. So if the practitioner is a monk or a nun, they have to follow those precepts in the monastic code. Okay, so basically for a monk 227 precepts, for a nun more than 300 precepts. Okay, for a lay person 5 precepts on a daily basis, and then 8 precepts, advanced precepts, at least 4-5 times a month. So that becomes your virtue, supporting you to attain awakening. Achara gochara sampanno. With the precepts, you have this special quality, conducting themselves well and seeking alms in suitable places. So basically, good rights and behavior, good manners. That is the meaning of achara gochara sampanno. Okay. Anumattesu vajjesu bhaya dassavi. This is how Buddha explained about the precepts, the definition of precepts. Anumattesu vajjesu bhaya dassavi. This is also a very powerful one. Seeing the danger in the slightest fault. That means before you do something, you reflect on that. Even very small things before you do, you reflect on them. Whether this is going to harm myself, whether this is going to harm others. If it is, even though it is a very small act, you are not going to do it because you see the painful consequences of that action. Okay, seeing the danger of slightest fault. Samadaya sikkati sikkhapadesu. They keep the rules they have undertaken. So, precepts. Now we are going to learn more about precepts. First, we learn about how to break precepts. Okay? Then we learn how to keep precepts. So what is the first precept? Yeah. Opposite? Killing. What is killing? Some people think killing means, some people think if they eat meat, they break the precept of killing. Some people think like that. So let's learn from the Buddha. Buddha teaches here. Harry, can you please read?
Yes, Pante.
The definition of killing.
Where is it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's when a certain person kills living creatures. They are violent, bloody-handed, a hardened killer, merciless to living things. living beings.
Okay, this is the definition of killing. So this is basically taking the life of a human being or an animal. Okay, this is about the breaking the first precept. It is when a person killing living beings, the person is violent, bloody-handed, a hardened killer, merciless to living beings. Okay, it doesn't say anything about purchasing meat in a shop, because that animal has been already killed by a person, and that person broke the precept. Okay, there is no such thing that the buyers of that meat indirectly support that killing or whatever. It's not something like that, because the Buddha has the perfect knowledge of karma and result, and Buddha explains Chetana aham bhikkhave kammang vadam. Your volition, your intention is what matters. So when a person kills another being, this is his intention. He has this intention of harming, is violent, merciless to living beings. That is the intention of taking somebody's life, right? And so you cannot link that to the intention of innocent intention of somebody who purchases vegetable meat. There is no difference the person from buying vegetables. He just goes to the shop and buys whatever is available there. Okay, so this is the definition. Who is going to read the definition of the second precept? So the first precept, the opposite of keeping precepts, breaking precepts, right? So breaking precepts. First one, killing. And some people think killing means only killing humans. That is also a misunderstanding about the precept. Killing means killing humans and animals. Some people think killing a plant is also included in the precept. That is also a misunderstanding. Killing a plant is not included here. Living creatures. Okay, and when Buddha says living creatures, is always Buddha's understanding is how you make bad karma of killing is by killing a living human being or a living animal. Is that clear?
Bante, if this person has no intention of harming the other person, however, in the process of defending himself because the other person is going to kill him, he eventually killed that person. Is that killing?
It's still before you kill somebody, you cannot kill a living being without the intention of taking the life. So you have the intention of taking somebody's life.
Even while in the process of defending himself, because
whatever purpose, you have the intention of taking somebody's life, so that is killing and that is bad karma.
but Bante, he is not intentional to kill the other person, but
No,
eventually,
that is not the meaning of unintentional. Example for unintentional is that you walk back and forth and then at some point you realize you have stepped on some insects.
Mm-hmm.
That is an example for unintentional.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I got you. Thank you, Bante.
Okay.
I remember Bhakti Santam, in the past, we also learned that if we eat the egg,
If there is a life,
life,
yeah,
that is also
killing. Okay, but the eggs that were put in a refrigerator for a long time, the life is gone. There is no living conditions. That is not considered as a living egg. That is what nowadays lots of people use, right? But in villages like in Sri Lanka, they have to be careful because as soon as you get the fresh egg from the hen, that has a life. Okay.
Like in Indonesia, they eat food, they fry some kind of noodle with that duck egg. If it is fresh, it's also.
Yeah, you have to be careful. You need to avoid. And also, some people go to some restaurants and order living fish. That is killing. Okay, that is killing. And if a monk goes to that restaurant and the lay person is going to offer the meal for the monk, and he orders that person to kill that fish in order or specifically prepare the meal for the monk, monk is not allowed to eat it because it has he has involved in the killing in the name of the monk. Okay, so that's.
Question. You said cutting a flower is not killing. Now,
it's not killing. It's not included in the killing and humans and animals.
But we are talking about they're made of the same element, and
no, they don't have a consciousness. Always be aware of your intention. Okay, intention is what matters, and sometimes monks did some stuff, and remember there was one story. Somebody called a monk, a certain monk, and then there was this other monk, and he actually that monk was his father in the lay life, and then son also a monk, both of them. And then somebody called that father monk, and then the son monk, and he pushed the father monk, saying he is calling you. And the father fell down and passed away. And the monk had the like remorse. Did I commit this grave offense of killing my own father? And then he went up to the Buddha, and Buddha asked, what was your intention when you were pushing him? My intention was to send him to the other monk. So you didn't have the intention of killing? No, not at all. So then the monk said, you didn't do any wrongdoing. Okay, so intention. So always you have to check.
What about and a woman and what?
But still, when it comes to the point where you take somebody's life, it's the intention of taking somebody's life, and that's included in killing. Okay. But we are talking about avoiding killing, so there is no justification whatsoever for killing. Whatever.
If a mentally deranged person kills someone, obviously that person didn't have the intention. She's mentally deranged. What do you call that?
In the Dhamma, there are in the Dhamma it is called that there is a term for that. So in that case he is not making that same bad karma. No, because there is no is the so but it's not included in that. And then the second one, prasad.
Yeah, you said like about that story, the monk pushes the father. Where can you find that story in the Pitaka?
It's in the Vinaya Pitaka. It's in the Vinaya Pitaka, Parajika Pali. Okay. So now we are learning about how to get closer to the factors of awakening, right? Because this samsaric journey is full of suffering, right? We can see that with our own eyes and we feel it from our own life. This keeps happening again and again. And this life is subject to old age, sickness, death, separation from loved ones, all these problems in life. So that is why we are finding this way out. So we need to be very careful with this bodily action of killing. So even a small insect, a mosquito, teeny tiny mosquito, we should not kill with the intention of killing. So that is why if a mosquito lands on you, you have to, yeah, not do like this. If you have like a very instant response and you do like this, it's killing. You don't need to name the people, okay? This person, that person, but when we learn the Dhamma, you just learn it and then you apply yourself, okay? And then understand, okay? If anybody who has intention of taking somebody's life, that is included in killing, and you don't have the right, you say to other beings that no one has the right to take my life because I love living. In the same way, Buddha teaches even a tiny ant, mosquito, insect, that beings thinks the same way. I love my life. That's why everybody is scared of death, right? I love my life. I need to live. That's the idea all beings have. So like you would say to others that you don't have the right to take my life, everybody will say the same. You don't have the right to take my life. So it's same for everybody. Okay. So the second one, stealing. Okay, breaking precepts. So now we understand if we commit these things, that means we are not getting closer to the factors of enlightenment, right? So we are basically continuing our journey of suffering. That is the meaning. What is this stealing? Buddha explains here. With the intention to commit theft, right? They take the wealth or belongings of others from village or wilderness, stealing. There is a beautiful, lengthy explanation about killing in the Vinaya Pitaka, monks' code of monastic code. We are reading these days that we are studying the monks here. That is very interesting, like very detailed, beautiful things. Like Buddha teaches, one monk orders another group of monks to steal something, and then as soon as that item is stolen, everybody commits that wrongdoing, and they all lose the monkhood instantly. And then a monk at some point asks another person to steal something, and then the first monk changes the mind later, and he says, no, don't do that. Don't steal it. And then the second monk still would go and steal. The first monk has no offense. The second monk makes parajika, yeah, the grave offense, and he loses the monkhood. So like that, Buddha like elaborates each and every aspect of stealing and how this stealing happens.
It's quite interesting because if the first monk said steal something and then changed his mind.
Yeah.
But there was intention when he first gave the order, let's say.
Yeah, but it's like this. You have the intention to steal something, but you later you change your mind. And then you don't break the precept. Because there should be some factors to fulfill the evil action. For example, the item should belong to somebody else. So this monk, for example, Buddha teaches, and he wants to steal something that belongs to another monk. But in the night, he steals his own item, thinking that this is the other person's item. Oh, he is so fortunate in one side, because, and then he had doubts and remorse, and he went to the Buddha, and Buddha said, you didn't commit the major offense, but you committed the minor offense, very minor. That's called dukkata, minor offense, because he stole his own item. Right? So like that, Buddha explained very detailed, right? Beautiful. Stealing. Sorry? Yeah, stealing is. Mm-hmm. You know what happened is that why that thing has happened to that child? He's suffering from hunger, having nothing to eat, because when he was a human being in his previous lives, he stole things from others, and now he has to repay. Now he is poor, he doesn't have anything to eat. So if we continue doing this evil action, Buddha teaches the result. We are going to learn about the results in the next sutta. The results of stealing: rebirth in hell, rebirth as an animal, rebirth as a ghost. After repaying for a long time, thousands of years, hundreds of years in these painful worlds, finally you come back to human world one day, your karma brings you back to the human world, you lose your wealth and you become poor. So there are very painful consequences for stealing.
But basically, in this example, on the one hand, the person stole something, but on the other hand, it saved a life.
People do things like that. Yeah. So for the part they break the precepts, they make bad karma. And for the portion, they do something good with like helping others, and then they may make good karma for that portion. So right? But there is no balancing like that. It's not about metrics or mathematics. So, but Buddha never encouraged. Buddha never encouraged breaking precepts, because Buddha knew the pain that is going to come back to you. Buddha didn't want you to suffer. Okay. So tries so many other ways to help people without like, that's not fair. You are going to make somebody happy by making another person sad, because you don't have the right to steal from somebody else. You earn very hard. How do you think about your belongings? You like if others steal even a small thing from you? You don't like, because you know how hard you worked for that. So Buddha teaches, apply yourself to others. The way you think is the same way the others think. You don't want others to steal from you in the same way they think. So don't try to make somebody happy by making somebody else sad. key precepts, try to find other ways how you can help others. There are so many alternative ways how you can help others. If you justify any evil action in this world, it is not praised by the wise. You cannot do that. Okay? Yeah.
If I do something, you know, I was so petrified. I went and I saw this beautiful bag all along the street. I was so scared to pick it and keep it.
There are some there are some exceptions. That means not counted as stealing. Okay? Some of those exceptions are that you think that it is thrown away and nobody owns it, right? It's called pansukula. Okay, and it's not stealing. You take it, that's not stealing. And then, like monks go to find rag robes, right? That's called pansukula clothes, rag robes, and they were thrown away in the charnel ground in the cemetery, right? And on the roadside, and they pick it up because they know that it's not stealing, right? That is no honor for that. Is just thrown away. It's just garbage, basically. So the monk would collect pieces of those rag cloths and then bring to the monastery and then wash them, clean them, sew them together and make a robe. That's called pansukula. And then so that's an exception. And then the other one is temporary use. Okay, so there is a pair of slippers outside and you want to go to the stupa really quickly and you know it belongs to somebody else, but there is nobody close by. So you think that temporarily I will take this, I go to the stupa and bring it back soon. It's not counted as stealing. Okay, so it's exception. And always, like, even in the workplace, if you want to use something, you want to like take something home, always ask the manager, ask the boss, get the permission, because till he gives you the permission, it's not belong to you. Okay, any or even you go to the store, you always has to pay, right? So don't steal even a small thing.
I just keep trying to keep that out of the money. Doesn't belong to anybody.
No, money belongs to somebody. Nobody leaves money or take away. Like, no. Somebody is the owner, right? If we lose our money, we know the pain, right? Till we find it, till somebody brings it back, we are waiting and waiting and waiting. So the same thing. Yeah, don't steal others' smartphones, cell phones. People are suffering. Okay, so please avoid stealing if you want to escape from suffering and to attain enlightenment. Third one, breaking precept. Number 3. Okay, we should write this in red, right? Because these are breaking precepts. Okay, can somebody read about the third breaking precept, sexual misconduct? Ben, you want to read? Please.
They commit sexual misconduct. They have sexual relations with women who have their mother, father, both mother and father, brother, sister, relatives, or clan as guardian. They have sexual relations with a woman who is protected on principle, or who has a husband, or whose violation is punishable by law, or even one who has been garlanded as a token of betrothal. This is how unprincipled and immoral conduct is, threefold, but they have called it.
Yeah. So, threefold immoral conduct by body means killing, stealing, sexual misconduct. So these are the same 3 precepts of the first, the 5 precepts, right? First 3 precepts. So we are learning about precepts. Okay, so if we suffer for some reason, then you can think, I suffer because I didn't keep these precepts in the past. That is why I keep wandering in this samsara, this repeated rebirth. That is why I keep reborn in this samsara. So at least let me keep these precepts in this life. So my suffering would come to an end one day. That is how we should think, right? So there is no point of arguing on precepts or on the Dhamma, or this is a solution we are learning. So we try to apply these things to our life, because we go for refuge to Dhamma in order to escape from suffering, put an end to suffering. And when you see others are suffering, then you think the same way. Or they are suffering because they didn't keep the precepts in their past lives. And now these are the results, the suffering, the pain. May they also come across these beautiful teachings. May they also start keeping precepts in this life, so they also will end their suffering in the future. Okay, so this is the solution. Oh, so do you like to learn the results of these bad actions before we move on to the other precepts, or should we learn the other breaking precepts as well? Can we first finish this? Okay, so next breaking precept. Okay, what is that? Next breaking precept is lying. Okay, so what are the breaking precepts?
Stealing, sexual misconduct, lying.
Okay, so far 4. So we are learning about 5 precepts, remember? So these are the opposite of 5 precepts. So okay, one more. Okay, so, very interesting, right? We should learn, otherwise we don't think seriously about this. Okay, so who is going to read about lying? This is the definition. Okay.
It's when a certain person lies. They are summoned to a council, an assembly, a family meeting, a guild, or to the royal court, and asked to bear witness. Please, mister, say what you know. Not knowing, they say, I know. Knowing, they say, I don't know. Not seeing, they say, I see. And seeing, they say, I don't see. So they deliberately lie for the sake of themselves or another, and for some trivial worldly reason.
Yeah, for any gain. That's the meaning. Okay, so lying, intentionally lying, deliberately lying. You have the intention of cheating somebody. Okay, so this is an example for lying, and for you to understand, right? Buddha gives the definition of lying. Okay, so shouldn't lie. Shouldn't lie. Even though we are living in a world with lots of lies, if you want to escape from this suffering, please always speak the truth, right? You, for the sake of yourself or another, or for a small gain, big gain, for money, for wealth, for fame, for power, for anything, please don't lie. Otherwise, suffering will continue. Suffering will continue. We will have to die in tragedies. We will face, and others will kill us many times. We will be in the battlefields. We will suffer a lot, and we will get sick again and again. We will die again and again. The suffering will continue. Why? Because we lie. One reason, right? If you have the intention of doing an evil action by body, speech, and mind, whether you decide to do it or avoid it, doesn't matter. This is not for Buddhists. This is not for a specific group of people. This is the natural law in the world. This is not a creation of the Buddha. Buddha just saw how karma works and then disclosed it to the world. If you, doesn't matter the purpose. Like, if you, what Buddha realized was how this natural law works. If you have the intention of depriving someone from the life, taking somebody's life, you accumulate bad karma. It's not Buddha giving you bad karma. It's not that somebody else giving you bad karma. It is how this natural law works. You have the, and Buddha saw that. And nobody else saw that. Nobody else saw that. Nobody knew that. So then they came up with these so many justifications and so many things, and they might say, if we kill the people who are against us, we will go to heaven, or this is a sacrifice for our God or the Brahma. People came up with so many things. If you come with one justification today, there are people out there, they can come with their justifications as well. Okay, we do this animal sacrifice to satisfy our God. How about that? You cannot justify. So Buddha saw, if you have the intention of taking somebody's life, a bad karma is accumulated inside, and Buddha explains the results, and we are going to learn that in a different sutta. In the same way, if you have the intention, not the purpose, intention, chetana aham bhikkhave kammang vada. Intention is what is karma, I say. Buddha answers. So if you have the intention of, let's say somebody cheats you, okay? And then the person who lies says, I did this for a good person. Would you forgive? No. We would say, you don't have a right to cheat me, because I don't like to be cheated. In the same way, nobody in this world likes to be cheated by another person. So Buddha teaches, if you have the intention of cheating somebody, lying means cheating somebody. Cheating never falls under the category of wholesomeness. Cheating, lying with the deliberate idea of cheating somebody never falls under the category of kusala, under the category of merit, under the category of wholesomeness. And also, don't expect a monk to justify any of these precepts, breaking precepts, because you are going to suffer. Buddha saw that if we break precepts, we are going to suffer, and Buddha didn't want us to suffer. Because of our ignorance, we will argue, we will find excuses, but Buddha saw karma doesn't have any what is that called, any sympathy. Karma doesn't have that, because if intention was evil, on the spot karma is already arranged and the doer has to repay. After we made that action, after we committed that evil thing, whatever we say, the karma doesn't listen to you. Okay, so the fifth breaking of precept is what? Drinking alcohol and taking intoxicants. Okay, so so these are the 5 precepts, breaking 5 precepts. And before we learning how to keep these precepts, now Buddha explained about some of these precepts. We learned about the definition, right? How to break. And then why did Buddha teach that? Is that to help us break? No, to avoid breaking. And then Buddha teaches how to keep these precepts, the definition of keeping precepts, each one, right? Before we go to that, let's learn the consequences. Okay, so for that, okay, so this is from, so the definition for the precepts, you can read Salayaka Sutta, the people of Sala, from the Majjhima Nikaya, discourse number 41. Okay, and then I go to a different sutta. Please ask your question. Included intoxicants. Under intoxicants.
No, if I am addicted. If I take that precept, I'm loving it because I'm not giving up.
Yeah, you try your best. Try your best. So it's like this. She was very honest, right? So this path is a gradual path. This path is not for perfect people. If you are a perfect, you don't need this path because you are already purified, liberated from suffering, perfect. This path is for the people with weaknesses, with problems, with difficulties in keeping precepts, right? Cleansing the mind, suffering from defilements. This path is for them to be purified one day, 100%, right? So everybody is in a gradual training, right? We can't expect, okay, let's say I give you the 5 precepts, right? And you can still, even though, let's say you are addicted to something, and on your ordinary life you break some precepts, you know that. But when I give you the precepts, or when you take the precepts, it's still okay to take precepts, because you make a determination, at least from now on, I will try my best to keep this precept. So now you are working on keeping precepts. And little by little, let's say you take precepts today, and now you have that in mind. Next time when you go to drink alcohol, or when you go to take drugs, little by little, this mindfulness will come. Oh, I have observed precepts, I shouldn't be doing this, right? But again you do that, and when you do that, you think, okay, from now on, let me observe the precepts again. From now on, I will restrain myself. Like that, you keep doing it, keep trying. And eventually, this observing precepts will help you to grow your mindfulness. And then eventually, it will help you to improve, overcome your addictions. The precepts have that power. So the people who are breaking precepts, many people, before they enter the Dhamma path, like so many people in the time of the Buddha, after the Buddha's passing away, at present, there are so many people, after they learned the Dhamma, they started the gradual training, and later they became virtuous people. They overcame their habitual patterns, their addictions, and things like that. So you place confidence in the 5 precepts. It's a gradual training, okay? So it's still you can observe precepts. And let's say it's like this. At least for few hours. Let's say now you come to this class, you observe the 5 precepts, and you keep precepts for 2 hours at least. And that's how you improve little by little. Improve. Right?
What if you take drugs for illness? You have a headache, you take a Tylenol and Advil, or
Tylenol is not intoxicants.
okay, so any kind of drugs that are prescription because of an illness is exempt.
You know, in the world, what is included in the intoxicants for the purpose of enjoyment, entertainment, and what is included in medicine.
Okay.
Okay, so and then we are going to learn the consequences. Do you have time? Oh yeah. So results of misconduct. Let me finish this and then you can ask questions. Okay, we go to the discussion. So results of misconduct. What is the first misconduct? Bodily misconduct? Killing. These are the words of the Buddha. Monks. The killing living creatures when cultivated, developed, and practiced. That means you do killing continuously. Okay, you do lots of killing humans, killing animals. You keep doing it with your bloody-handed, merciless. Remember the definition, and this is the result. Can you read the result? Can everybody read together?
This to help the animal with the purpose. The minimum result it leads to for human being is a short lifespan.
See the discovery of the Buddha? Buddha is the skilled teacher of understanding the action and the result. Without Buddha's knowledge, there is no other way to learn what is going on in our life. So killing humans and animals is very dangerous. It's bad karma. The killer, the doer, has to suffer for years and years in hell. And from hell, after many, many years, he will finish his pain there. He will repay, but still he will be born as an animal. Suffer a lot as an animal, right? And that animal will be a target for another stronger animal, right? Always living with fear, hunger, and thirst. That's the majority of animals' life. Okay, don't think animal means this is talking on about your pet. No, the cats and dogs living with comfort among humans, very few, but majority of animals suffering a lot, right? When they feel cold, they cannot tell. When they get sick, they cannot tell, right? How many animals? Incalculable numbers. And the majority of creatures are in the ocean, living in the ocean. We don't even see them. Okay, so animal world is a painful world, and this doer is reborn there. And then after suffering there, the doer still has to suffer in the ghost realm. And you like to learn about the ghost realm, please read some discourses in the connected discourses, Lakkhana Samyutta, and the stories of ghosts book, the original discourses. Okay, and then now this doer of the killing beings has to suffer for a long time in this world. Okay, so understand, please understand, killing never takes you to any of the heaven. Learn that lesson. Killing never ever takes you to any of the heaven. This is the Buddha's teaching. This is where the killing takes you. This is what we did in the past. We have killed lots of humans and animals in the past. Buddha teaches like that, and we suffered in these places for a long time. And suddenly, when our life was over in the previous life, wherever we were, we don't know. Maybe our last life was in hell. or we were an animal, or we were in the ghost world, our last life. But suddenly, because we repaid there for a long time with pain, a good karma appeared and gave us the human birth. But still, if there is some small part of that bad karma of killing is present, it will still follow us even in this happy world. Human world is considered as a happier world, sugati. Even in this happier realm, that bad karma will follow us, giving pain. How? We will not live long. As a baby, the baby will die in mother's womb. Mother has, what is it called? Abortion. And the baby dies even before seeing the human world. Or at early age of life, the life terminates. Life ends. Okay, that's the bad karma. Okay, this is now you want to kill when you know the result. That is why we should know the result. Okay, and then the result of stealing. Buddha teaches here: stealing, when cultivated, developed, and practiced, leads to hell, the animal realm, or the ghost realm. Okay, the minimum result it leads to for a human being is loss of wealth. Okay, so you stole things from others in past lives. In this life, you work very hard in the cold winters, and you work very hard in the workplace. You save some money, you buy a house, and you buy vehicles, you buy the whatever things, and then robbers steal. Thieves break in and you lose wealth. Because you gave that pain to somebody else in your previous life. So karma is fair in that way, right? You gave pain to somebody else and now you had to repay. Now you are in pain. You lost your wealth. It's not only stolen by robbers or thieves. The natural disasters like flood, fire can destroy your wealth. Can happen. See, that's karmic connection. Okay, there's a result of the third misconduct. Sexual misconduct, when cultivated, developed, and practiced, leads to hell. See, do people know this? People don't know. That's why we should share these teachings with the world out of compassion. If somebody knows the result, that understanding helps them to avoid this evil. That's why we should share these teachings. There are so many people in the world who committed this evil doing before, but after they learned about the results, they avoided. They overcame their evil actions. How can they do that if they don't know the results? They will only think about the temporary happiness. It's still accumulating, whether they know the results or not. No, they accumulate. That's how this natural law works. You cannot say, oh, I didn't know the results, that's why I was doing. No, there's no excuse for the karma. That's why we should learn, right? So it's up to us. So these people who engages in sexual misconduct are reborn in hell, animal world, suffer a lot, or in the ghost world, and after many years suffering there. If a good karma brings that being back to the human world, what is the risk? And there is a remaining result of that bad karma, the person still has to suffer. What? that human being has lots of enemies. Lots of enemies. Having enemies is a happy thing or painful thing? Painful, right? Painful. Because this person who engages in sexual misconduct, he gave lots of pain in past lives to some families, some husbands, some wives, some children, because the person broke the peace of families broken apart, and lots of pain. And now there is no peace for this doer in the human world. Lots of enemies. They do so many bad things, and this person is always restless when they have enemies. Okay. Lying, next, verbal action. Lying, when cultivated, developed, and practiced, leads to hell. See, it's not a simple thing. Lying is also bad karma leading to hell. And the person is reborn as an animal or a ghost. The minimum result, like after a long time, the person is reborn again as a human being. There is no peace in his life. Why? Lots of false accusations. So what is the result? No peace. Mind is always, experiencing this great unease, pain, questioning why are they saying like that? I didn't do that. Don't people suffer a lot because of false accusations? Because they did that in their past lives, right? They cheated others, they gave the pain to others, and now you had to repay. That is how this karma and result works. Is the framing also false accusations? Because I was teaching the same sutta for the kids in the Dhamma school. They said the simple word for this they use is framing. Is that clear?
Yeah.
False accusations? Yeah. So that's the word they know. They don't like this false accusation. They don't like it. But they like frame. Don't frame others. Right? So we go to the last one, okay? Drinking alcohol, taking intoxicants. People think it's lots of fun, right? Partying, entertainment. They think fun is the result. But that is not the real result. It's a temporary result. This is the long-lasting results. Can everybody read, please?
Alcoholic drinks, when cultivated, developed, and practiced, leads to health, the animal realm, or illusory. The minimum result it leads to for human being is none.
Okay, so drinking alcohol end up in hell, right? Rebirth in hell, animal world, ghost world. Don't focus on the temporary happiness or fun or entertainment. It's going to give you lots of pain in the future. So when I was explaining this to the kids, they said they didn't like the word madness. They said, so I explained them what Buddha meant here. It's in the Pali. So somebody is born with birth, the brain is not functioning properly. It's not matured. And they came up with the word Down syndrome. Is that clear?
Oh, no.
Is that
If Down syndrome is one of the ones, you can have ADHD. You can
but
have
it's
bipolar.
but madness, is that clear? Madness? It's not right. So basically, when you hear brain is not functioning well, you understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brain is not functioning well by birth. It's not normal. It's not like a normal kid. Understand?
Yeah.
That is the result, the remaining result of drinking alcohol in past lives. So you get a human life, but you cannot use it. to like achieve advanced results. Is that clear? That is very unfortunate, right? See, so don't cause pain to yourself. Okay, so we learned about we are learning about the aids to enlightenment. There we have to avoid breaking precepts, we have to keep precepts. Today we learned the Buddha's teachings about breaking precepts, the definition and the results. So it will help you to keep the precepts. Okay. Sadhu. So everybody is trying to keep precepts, right? Working your best, trying your best. Good. What are the most difficult precepts? I should not ask that. Because different people have different precepts. But you cannot judge people. You cannot judge people. You cannot say, oh, he was breaking these precepts in the past. Maybe he's breaking it now as well, and he will be breaking it in the future as well. No, you cannot judge people like that. You cannot judge. But keeping precepts is very strong, powerful, good karma. Let's say somebody like, okay, I'm not encouraging breaking precepts, but let's say somebody breaking precepts for many years, but in the last stage of his life he started keeping precepts. That keeping precepts good karma is very strong, and it increases your whole samsara rapidly, and as a result the bad karma you accumulated is weakened by this powerful good karma that you accumulated in the last stage of your life. That is how the good karma works. Even as the little action of good karma becomes very strong. So you don't need to like worry about what you did in the past, or I was breaking so many precepts in the past. I came across this Dhamma in the last stage of my life. So is this unbeneficial? Wouldn't this path do any good for me? No, you don't need to think like that. Because your wholesome intention is very powerful.
Someone said, one of the possible reasons we are reborn as a female could due to the past life, maybe due to the sexual misconduct. That's why when reborn as a human, it is reborn and we are reborn as a female. I'm not sure how to this.
Okay, so you like to learn more about it?
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing we need to understand is it's not that always somebody is a woman and somebody is a man. That's not how it works. This life man can be women in next life. This life women can be men in next life. This life human can be animals next life. So it's a cycle, okay? This life men must have been women in past life. This life women must have been men in past life. So it's a cycle, okay? And you like to learn more about this? I'll show you where to read. So you go here. You have Sutta, friends? Oh, here. Where is it? No, right? So you go to Sutta, friends. .org.
Yeah.
Oh, that one is,
You type suttafriends.org. Okay. So you go to this website and you see the 3 dots here. You click that and then you go to Therigata. See here, Therigata, Verses of Enlightened Nuns. And then you scroll down till you find Isidasi. Okay. Okay, so the Arahant nun Isidasi tells the story of her previous lives. Verse number 15.1. Okay.
Charan Sarana Swami answer. Charan Sir,
Okay.
I'm going to tell a verse in Pali. It might be incorrect. If it's incorrect, please correct me. It's from, I think, from Lona Kapalika Sutta or Karajakaya Sutta, one of these. About karma, it says, Yata Yata Yang Kammang Karoti Tata Tata Tang Patisang Vediti. If I say this, it is wrong. But if
Yes.
you say it is correct, Yata Yata Vedaniyang Yang Kammang Karoti Tata Tata Tang Patisang Vediti. So,
Yes.
can you explain me?
Okay. So it takes quite a long time to explain that. But briefly, that is what we were talking here in the last part of our discussion. So the same evil action is done by two different people, individuals. Okay, so the meaning of that. But the result is not going to be the same. Same evil action is done by two different individuals. The result is not going to be same. Who are those two different individuals? We will learn in future classes. Okay. Sadhu. Lona Phalasutta. Angutranka.
Bombay, Swami.
Okay.